For first part, what we had seen, that this radius and this dl both are in same direction. That means dl cross r is equal to 0. So that means this straight sections will not contribute to any magnetic field. Now let us see for this curved section. Let us take this small part. So the radius is in this direction and this curved part is in this direction. So there is an angle 90 degree. Similarly, if I take one point here, again the radius is making angle 90 degree always. So all these parts will add. All these parts will add. So what we have? We have R dl, R dl. From this dl cross r is equal to r dl, and this dl will, so full loop is, dl will change for full loop is 2 pi r, but for half loop it is only pi r. For half loop it is only pi r. That means the contribution to the magnetic field from this semicircular loop is half of the full loop. So for full loop we know the contribution was B0 at the center. At the center it was mu naught I was upon 2r. For this, since this is half loop, so contribution is also half. So we have mu naught I upon 4r. So this is the contribution, mu naught I upon 4r. So let us put the values. So magnetic field B is equal to mu naught is 4 pi into 10 to power minus 7. We have 4 in the denominator. Radius is 2 centimeter. So let us change centimeter into meter. So this is in meter. Current was 12 ampere. So let us cancel this and this is pi by 2 into 10 to power 7 into 12. So what we have, B is equal to pi is 3.14 into 12 into divided by 2. This is also cancelled. This is 6. This is 6. 10 to power 7 minus 2. So that means 10 to power minus 5. So this is 3.14 into 6. So this will be 18.84, or we can say into 10 to power minus 5. So this is equal to 1.88 into 10 to power minus 4 Tesla. So this is 1.88 or 1.9, both are equal. So the magnetic field is 1.9 into 10 to power minus 4 Tesla. So we have done two parts. Now what would be the direction? What would be the direction? So see, the current was going in this direction. Take your right hand and curl your fingers in this direction. Curl your fingers in this direction. So what would you find? Your thumb will direct inside the plane of paper. Your thumb will direct inside the plane of the paper. So magnetic field is going inside the plane of paper. So I don't know how can I show this in 2D, but definitely your thumb will show in this direction. That means the direction of the magnetic field is inside the plane of this paper. Now for third part, only thing is that now the direction of the finger is changed. Now the direction of the finger is in this direction. So what would happen? The direction of this magnetic field is coming out of the paper. This coming out of the paper. So this time direction of the finger is like this, If you curl your fingers in this direction, that means this magnetic field is coming out of the paper. So only difference is that magnetic field will remain same, so the same magnitude of B but opposite in direction that of B. So only direction changes. Previously it was inside the plane of paper, this side, this time it will coming out of the plane of paper, but magnitude will remain same. Now this example 4.7. Consider a tightly wound 100 turn coil of radius 10 centimeter. So we have a new quantity, number of turns, that is 100. Okay, so radius is 10 centimeter, that means 0.1 meter, carrying a current 1 ampere. So I is equal to 1 ampere. What is the magnitude of the magnetic field at the center of this coil? So we have to solve what is the magnitude of the magnetic field at the center of coil. So previously what we had only one loop. So in this case, in the case of magnetic field, if we increase the number of turns to 2, this magnetic field will also be doubled. If we have 3 loops, this magnetic field become 3 times. So simply there is a change in magnetic field which is proportional to E. So magnetic field will be proportional to number of turns. Let us say, let me show here, suppose we have one loop, and if this one loop is producing magnetic field of 1 Gauss, and you know what is Gauss? 10 to the power of minus 4 Tesla. Okay, so if one loop is producing magnetic field of 1 Gauss, suppose I double the number of loop, so wire is lengthy, so now there are 2 loops. So what will happen? This will become 2 Gauss. If the wire is further lengthy, if there are 3 loops, then this will become 3 Gauss. 4 loops, 4 Gauss. So as the number of loops are increasing, the magnetic field is also increasing. So if there are n loops, so whatever the magnetic field, we will multiply simply by n. So whatever the magnetic field for single loop, we will multiply by n. So what is the magnetic field for single one? B is equal to mu naught I upon 2R. Now there are n loops, so we have to multiply by n as well. So this is our formula, B is equal to mu naught I n upon 2R. So since the coil is tightly wound, we may take each circular element to have the same radius, because if it was not tightly wound, then radius would be different. The radius could be different if it was not tightly wound. So just by meaning tightly wound, they are saying that the same radius for all the turns, which is R is equal to 10 centimeter, 0.1 meter. The number of turns is 100. So the magnitude will be just mu naught I upon 2R into number of turns. So B is equal to mu naught I upon 2R. Mu naught I upon 2R. Let us put all the values into this equation. So mu naught is 4 pi into 10 to power minus 7. So this is the value of mu naught into 10 to power 2, which is n, that means 100. I is 1 ampere. 2R, 2 is same and R is 0.1 meter. So when we solve, this is remaining 2 pi. This is 7 minus 7 plus 2 plus 1. So 10 to power minus 4. 2 pi into 10 to power minus 4. That means 6.28 into 10 to power minus 4 Tesla. So this is the magnetic field at the center of this tightly woven coil. So only single loop, then we say this is loop. If there are more than one loop, this is called a coil. This is called a coil, and magnetic field is simply multiplied by number of turns in the coil.